'cause I'm a blue red.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Free Beer Tomorrow podcast, where we are about to dive into something that gets me really excited. And I am here with my friend Boomer. Boomer, how are you?
Go ahead, Joe. How are you?
Excellent. And very excited about this episode. I get excited about
Yeah,
every episode,
me
but
too. But this one in
specifically,
particular, yes.
exactly, specifically. But speaking of episodes, now I hope everyone was able to go back and watch the last episode. I believe it was episode 9. We had Jason Passmore on the show, and he gave us some really good insight about what he does and how he travels and where he travels and the things he does, and it was really neat. So make sure if you haven't already checked it out, check it out. It's the episode previous to this one, and as always, if you have a comment, please leave a comment and give us that like. We appreciate that. Okay, on to this episode. Here's what we did, people. We took a lady that has never in her entire life been to I'm going to say NASCAR racetrack for sure. Boomer, have you ever been to a short track race?
No,
Nothing.
nothing. Nothing at all.
A horse race?
Yes.
A dog race?
Yes.
Okay, so you've got the animal part done. You just never been to an actual car race or a truck race.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, well, that's perfect. So
Yeah.
anyway, folks, what we did is we loaded Boomer up and we took her to Darlington Raceway in South Carolina this past weekend for the truck race. It was called the Sober or Slammer 200. And I was very excited to go and get to see a lot of my old peeps that I haven't seen for a while. But I believe Boomer was fairly excited to go too, right, Boomer?
Hey, you know what? I did something completely out of my comfort zone this weekend, right? Going
Right.
to my first ever NASCAR race and again, not just as a fan in the stands, right? Like we had, credential passes.
You did?
I'm talking, garage area, pit road, like the whole thing.
You kind of got the what's the word? The queen treatment, let's call it.
I looked at it as like a lot of like behind the scenes that
Oh yeah.
most people don't get to see.
And you're right. You're right. A lot of people don't get to see that.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
Obviously, a whole different world.
Yes.
But Boomer, all right, so I'm going to start off here by asking, we pulled up to the racetrack, and when you first saw the track from the outside,
Yeah.
what'd you think?
Um, I think, well, from the front of it, there was a lot of, I think, anticipation. I
Right.
didn't really know what to expect once we got inside. And then it was more of like my eyes were wide and there was a whole lot of what the heck is happening?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
We did. We pulled up to the track, and the credential office at Darlington is outside the racetrack, of course. So we had to take care of that, and we got that all handled. And then we went around and we found our little parking spot where we decided to park, and we walked up to the racetrack, right? And I believe I said, "Hey, wait! Before we go into the track, let's run up these stairs and
Yeah.
check out from the view from the grandstands, right?"
Yes.
And that's when your
That was
eyes got
that
big.
was cool. That was cool. Yes.
It's a big
Absolutely.
place, right?
And it was still early enough where obviously there were fans that were already there because I found out quickly that this is an event. Like this
Right.
is a multi-day event, sometimes even like the whole week where people are bringing their fifth wheels, their campers, their RVs. Like it is a whole thing that they will take the entire like week off for or like extended weekend, which,
Right.
worked out perfectly for them. But it was very, it was quiet and then it got loud in a very short period of time. But it was definitely really cool to climb those stairs and then just look out at the track and all those seats that we knew were going to be filled with fans. And any moment, just the loud noises that was going to start from everywhere.
And while we were looking, from the stands down into the racetrack, somebody had fired up a motor in the Cup garage, I believe. They were warming their cars up. And that thing fired up, and you looked over at me, and I said, "Yeah, that's a race car right there." And your eyes were really big, so it was really cool. I'll probably say this more than once, but it was really cool to see the excitement on your face throughout the day as we went.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, it was great. I think, I think my first real shock, obviously after looking out into the actual track itself and, and looking out to see where all the fans were going to be was like in the garage area when we got into that area. I think that was my first real shock. You've got drivers that are just walking around, crews that are, wrenching on the trucks, engines being fired up, as you mentioned. There's no TV filter. It was just really, it was raw and it was right in front of me.
It was real life.
So it was, yeah, that was probably one of like the coolest things that I think, I'll never forget, but just something really cool for someone to experience.
So the first stop that we made after we walked through the pedestrian tunnel was the motor coach lot where the drivers have their motor coaches. And we were able to get in there. We were able to go talk to some of my friends. And you got to experience something that very few people get to experience, to go into the driver's motorhome area.
Yes.
And you looked around at those motorhomes, millions and millions of dollars worth of
Oh
motorhomes
yeah.
slash
Yeah.
buses. Very
Yeah.
nice. And that's the part that people don't really see, but those things
Hmm.
travel to every weekend. And they have drivers that take care of those buses, and Sunday night after a race or whatever the race is, Saturday night, what have you, they pack those things up and they drive to the next racetrack and set them up for the driver and their families for when they get there. So I'm glad you saw that. I wanted you to see that. Wasn't 100% sure if we'd get to actually go in there or not, but yeah, when you know a few people, you get some favors. So it
That's
worked
right.
out.
Well, and kudos
Worked
to
out
those
well.
drivers because they keep a very tight schedule and keep that whole thing running.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and and I particularly proud of the female motor coach drivers out there because again, those big buses are not easy when you're on the
Right,
roadway.
right.
So, but you're right. I mean, they're not only are they large, but they are like the inside of them, right? You're talking multi-million dollar motor
Beautiful.
coaches.
They're
Yeah.
beautiful. Yep, yep. Whole different world.
Oh yeah.
So we were in there, talked to a few people, saw a few drivers, and then we moseyed on our way down to turn one because the Cup cars were about to start practice. And they practiced and qualified before the trucks actually raced that day. So I wanted to get you down into turn one, that area, because that's the fastest part of the track.
Yes.
And I specifically was watching your face when the cars got on the racetrack to see your reaction when those cars
Yeah.
came by at about 180, 190 miles an hour into
Oh,
turn one.
flying through that turn. Yeah.
I was,
Wild. And I mean, just the sheer vibration. And then you've got that loud noise, pro tip for next time, brought earplugs and did not this go around, but I will next time.
right?
I think I lost some hearing in my left ear, but it's fine. It'll come back eventually.
Huh?
Yeah, what was
No,
that? Yeah.
you're right.
But yeah, that was really, really cool to watch that.
And after we watched for a while, we took a little walk up pit road, and while the cars were still practicing, the Cup cars, and getting ready to qualify, and a lot of equipment, right? A lot of
Oh yeah.
equipment, and not pit boxes for a race, but actual engineering carts that the crews use for the Cup cars, and so much data and so many computer screens, and I mean, it's different from when I was doing it. So I was
Hmm.
just curious on your take on it. Like, what did you think with all the computer screens and all the technology?
I was very impressed with how much technology goes into the race, the car itself or the truck, how many eyes are watching every move, and what's going on with the engine and everything that's going on that
Right.
racetrack. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Um, I think at one point I even mentioned just with everything going on, in whether it's the pit box or pit road or even in the garages, it's almost like a dance because you've got so many people there. And I know we had talked about this on a previous episode where you had mentioned, pit crews used to be, there used to be way more people, and they've really scaled it back over the years.
Right.
But even at the race that we were at the other day, again, how the people that were out there for the teams, they all had a job to do, and they all have to be in sync with what's going on at any given moment, what their job is, what the other jobs are, what responsibilities the other folks have for that race car or truck. Um, it was incredible to see just the movement second by second
Right.
and
Right.
how it gets accomplished. Yeah.
And see, back, let's just go back six years ago or before.
Yeah.
There used to be an hour of practice, perhaps, and then a break, and then maybe another hour of practice, and then a break, and then qualifying. Well, the schedules have gotten so condensed for these teams as far as practice time.
Okay.
The Cup cars that they were split into two groups, and I
Mhm.
believe they each had 20 minutes of practice, and that's it. And then they
Yeah, the
qualified.
practice wasn't very long. I'm glad you
Right,
said that because I noticed that like the practice time wasn't long. So
right,
again, not having any background of NASCAR history, like, to your degree or anyone else who maybe just watches NASCAR, because they like the sport. I had no idea that they used to have so much more time.
right,
It was very quick.
right. It's this may sound cliche, but it's like we gotta hurry, we gotta hurry. Well, then we gotta wait.
Yeah.
Okay, well, practice is gonna start. Hurry up. Okay, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. Okay, now wait, we gotta stop.
Right.
And okay, now we gotta get ready to qualify. And
Yep.
it's just it's uh it's a different world than when I was actually doing it,
Hmm.
but it's still fun for me to watch and observe. Uh, you know, it's just condensed a lot more. But to your point, it goes from pretty quiet. Maybe you hear some music on the loudspeakers inside the track, and all of a sudden you hear, 900 horsepower engines fired up, and
Roaring.
it's deafening.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yes.
It just goes from zero to loud, like you said earlier, and then when practice is over, it goes from loud to nothing again. It's like, well, what happened? Where's
Right.
everybody at? So, but it's everyone has a job. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone has to do their job, and they're very good at it. Obviously,
Yeah.
they get a lot of practice at it every year, every week. So after the Cup cars, then we meandered on over into the truck garage, where the trucks were actually impounded, which means they were covered up in the garage area, and the crews couldn't touch them, couldn't work on them anymore because they had qualified the day before. And we got in there right when the garage opened, and we got to see the crews go to work as far as uncovering the trucks. They get to warm them up before the race, uh, push them around, push them out to the front stretch for the start of the race. What caught your eye in the actual truck garage when we got in there?
Okay, I do want to talk about the truck garage because I think that was probably one of like my favorite highlights of the
Okay.
day
Okay.
because it's organized chaos. I feel like that was probably
100%.
the best way in my mind that I could probably try to describe it to someone who, again, whether they're a NASCAR fan, whether they don't watch it, or whether they've had, an opportunity to have that experience like I did. But it's organized chaos. You can literally feel the intensity that every crew that's in that garage, they're on a mission and time is everything for them.
Huh.
I thought, like, again, not knowing what to expect. So I thought maybe they'd be behind glass or something, but no. I mean, I'm standing feet from drivers or from from crew that are climbing into the truck, moving parts, moving fuel cans. Like, I mean, it was for me it was wild to see, but for them it's like, oh, just another day at the office.
Right. And I think at one point where we were standing, we were somewhat in the way of one of the truck drivers moving some fuel cans. And I said, "Yeah, here we are." I said, "We're the people I used to cuss all the time to get the heck out of the way so we can do our jobs."
It was definitely something where you have to be very mindful when you're in the
Right.
garage of where
Right.
you're standing and what's going on around you,
Right.
because you've got drivers, you've got fans that paid for extra, like, behind the scene access, that are looking for photos, autographs. But then you've got all of these crew folks that are moving,
Working.
pieces, parts, the trucks that are moving out because they got to get them onto the track. So there is a lot going on,
Yes.
second by second.
A lot. And it happens quick
Yeah,
too, like to your point.
very fast.
I
Yes.
like what you said, organized chaos.
Organized chaos.
Great
Yes.
way to
Yeah.
describe it. Great way to describe it. So we hung out in the truck garage for a little while. In fact, you got to meet one of the drivers right there in the truck
Yeah.
garage. Stand next to him, talk to him for a while. Go ahead. Go ahead. Who was the driver you got to meet? Who was the first one you ever met?
Well, we did. I mean, it was nice to meet several drivers on Saturday. It was
Well, let's
very
just
nice
talk
to
about
meet
the first
them.
one that you met in the truck garage.
So in the first one that I met in the truck garage, I believe it was Corey, the first
Right.
one.
Right. Right. It
Because
was.
again, it was a little bit of a blur.
Well,
I'm
see,
not
that's
gonna
good.
lie.
That's good. It was moving fast,
because
right?
because again, going back to Joe's background in NASCAR, we met a lot of
Just
important people
just one or
on
two.
Saturday.
Just one or two.
Just one or two, yeah. Um, but yeah, no, and he was awesome to meet him. It was
So
really, yeah.
we need to give
Again,
Spire Motorsports a shout out.
yes,
And Corey
absolutely.
LaJoy. Spire took care of us. They gave us the red carpet treatment, and we
They
greatly
did.
appreciate that. I know Boomer had a big time with it. We'll talk a little later. We actually got to sit on their pit box during the race and watch a pit stop. They treated us very, very well, and they didn't need to do that. So thank you everyone at
Yeah.
Spire Motorsports that was involved, and thank you Corey for the time talking to us and chatting with us a little bit. We greatly appreciate that as well. Then we went back out towards the front stretch towards pit road, right? And the crews had pushed the trucks out, so now we're roughly 30 minutes before the race, and they start driver introductions, right?
Yes.
And we took our little happy butts down and we walked down by the driver introduction stage, right?
Yes, we did. Yes. Which again, new
Wow.
experience for me because I
Again,
didn't
and
know I didn't know what that was.
right, right. And what's really cool is before the drivers get introduced and they walk across the stage in front of everyone, in the grandstands, they all kind of huddle behind the stage, and we were down there, so we were behind there with them. Now we couldn't go right in there with them, but we were very close to them. So, we could holler at them and wave to them or whatever else we wanted to do. But I think you found now Corey LaJoy is a very nice man. He treated us very well, but I think you
He
found your
did.
favorite driver. Did you not?
Oh, I did. Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Tell us about your favorite driver.
Okay, so we were walking because we were going to make our way over to eventually over to where his pit box was, Corey's pit box,
Which
right down.
which was the very first pit stall coming onto pit road, pit stall number
Yes.
43, the
Yes.
furthest away from anything. But yes, yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yes. Um, so we stopped and I immediately noticed that out of all the drivers, there was one female driver that was there. And I turned and I said, "Oh my gosh, who is that?" because I'm like immediate fan because
Right.
only female driver in the truck race.
Right.
Um, so we were able to get her attention,
Mhm.
and she came down, and um, Tony, and I apologize because I know I'm not going to say her last name correct, Joe.
Go ahead, give it a shot.
Oh,
Bridinger?
I'm not going to try.
Bridinger.
Bridinger. Thank
Tony
you.
Bridinger.
Cody. Okay. So she, truck number 5.
Right.
She was so awesome to meet, so nice. Um, and she did very well, at the race. And I was just very impressed because again,
Cool.
you know, I'm assuming a very male dominated sport over the years, over the decades, just to see that out there, having a female truck driver was really cool. So I wanted to meet her and give her kudos because I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and again, she was very, very nice.
Super nice, super
Yeah.
accommodating, coming down away from where she needed to be to talk to
Yeah.
us.
She left the stage when they
Right.
were
And
all
right.
getting lined up.
Right.
So,
And we got a really cool picture with her. You
yeah.
guys did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. And see that's great. That first impression. Now you're going to be a fan of hers for life, right?
Oh, for life. Oh, yes.
Right. So
Yes.
you're going to watch Tony and Corey. That's who you're going to watch.
That's right.
Anytime you watch a truck race. So that was a great experience for you. I was excited that we had a little interaction right there, especially
Yeah.
with a female driver you didn't even know existed. So
Had no idea.
that was
Yeah.
really neat. And while we were standing there, for those NASCAR fans of old like me, uh, my favorite driver came walking by, and we got to stop and talk to him for a while. That's Mr. Dave Marcus, and I let introduce you to Dave, and we told a couple stories before we had to go. But if you get us together, it's going to be story time. I'm just telling you.
Let's just talk about Mr. Dave Marcus, who is 84 years young.
84 years young.
That man is like he's incredible. And the stories that he was able to just as you and him were interacting and the stories that he was just firing off. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, at 84, I want to be able to just be able to remember those stories. And some of them, I mean,
Hmm.
I hope that man, I don't, if he hasn't written a book, he needs to, because
I don't know if he has. I'm,
he,
I'm going to ask him about that.
he's had an incredible life
Oh, it's
of,
his story is
in
incredible.
NASCAR and
Yeah.
racing. I mean, and he's funny. He's so funny.
He's a great guy. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He just yeah. He loves racing. Obviously, his whole life has been racing.
He's so passionate, and you can see
Right.
it and you can hear it that
Yeah.
he still has that passion for racing. And I know you and him were joking about, Darlington
Yeah.
and the racing for that day, but that twinkle in his eye of wanting to get back in a car and get back on that track. And I was like, I think if that man, if somebody gave him that opportunity, I think he was going to jump in one of those trucks.
Well, I'm pretty sure he probably would.
I think so.
Yeah, he kind of joked around about it, but do you recall what he said? And when we talked about, hey, you think you can still get it done here with at the Lady in Black? And he said, "Oh, remember?" He said, "Oh yeah, especially at this track." He said, "This track is so much fun." He said, "See,
Yes.
drivers, it's such a challenging racetrack for the drivers."
Yeah.
And Dave is actually, I believe he's tied for second place on the number of starts at Darlington. 58 times that man has raced a cup car at Darlington.
That's incredible.
So he
Oh my
knows his way
gosh.
around there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but that was a really big highlight for me of the day. Other than other than taking you and seeing all your excitement for your first time, but seeing Dave and the man that gave me
Yeah.
a shot at a job and a career back 35 years ago. I mean, that was very good for me and very exciting for me.
Yeah.
So that was good for all of us.
I was
So
I was so excited that that you and him were able to connect.
Oh yeah.
Well, and again, it was, I know we were, wanting to see him, and just the fact that we were walking towards, we were walking that way and he was coming towards us. We were like, this is it right here. Yeah. I'm so
Right.
glad that you got to see him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I even ran into a local Myrtle Beach person that I get to watch on TV, Mr. Scotty Powell. He's
Yeah,
a
Scotty.
meteorologist on a local TV channel in Myrtle Beach, and ran into him and talked to him, and what a great guy. He's awesome.
Great guy. And another NASCAR fan.
Big NASCAR fan. I
Yeah,
think he was actually kind of working, so he had to be there, but he loves NASCAR, you can
he
tell.
does. He definitely does. Yeah.
So then the drivers, they got introduced. We did all that. Shot the bowl a little bit with Dave there for a while, and then we meandered all the way down to pit stall number 43, way down yonder, as they say. And for the race by the Spire Motorsports pit box by Corey LaJoy. And lo and behold, they put us up on top of the pit box, didn't they?
Had no idea that that was even going to happen, and
I
I
didn't
was
either.
like, "Wait, what are we going to do? What's
Yeah.
happening?" Okay, so we gotta climb this ladder, get this bird's eye view, right? That
Yeah.
was so cool to
And
be up there.
the way those trucks come through turn 3 and 4,
Yeah.
right? And the tires, they wear out so fast at that racetrack. You
Yes.
can just see them sliding, right? And
Yeah.
it just looks like they're going to wreck almost every time they come off that corner, but they
Oh
don't,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean I would say the pit box, like that was insane. We've got our radios, so radios are going off, stopwatches, like you mentioned the technology piece.
right,
There's so many computer screens with so many different, just everything, clocking everything. People were
right.
screaming. I didn't understand half of it.
That's
It felt
okay.
like I was in the middle of a war room, and it was like
A
it
very
was fascinating.
a very loud war room.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah,
And it was cool because, of course, they had other guests there as well, and they were able to fit us in and give us what 15 minutes on the pit box, and actually allow us to be up there while they did a pit stop when they came in
yeah,
and did an actual pit stop. So I think that view is really neat, that perspective, and you were literally 15 feet away from a live pit stop going on. So
yeah.
and the sounds, right, and the smells and everything. TV is great, and TV coverage is great, but god darn it, it just doesn't quite do it justice, does it?
No, it doesn't. I think, and again, I think a lot of folks, we're talking about how we had this really amazing, almost, VIP look at this NASCAR race, right, in
Right.
Darlington. But even
Right.
for, everyone else that was in the stands,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't do it justice when you're just watching it on TV. And I understand, it's a lot of it is, again, wherever the race is, and you can't always be at those races, in person. But
Sure.
the experience of it's very immersive because it's the sights, the sounds, the smells, the going back to the chaos piece where I mean, even if you're in the stands, you can see across the way
Right.
just people are running around, or all the movement. Like I said, it's very much like an orchestrated dance that you're
Right.
watching
Right.
live.
Right. It is. It is. You're right. I'm glad that's a good perspective too. And when so after the fact, right? Did you think back and think, wow? And did you think about things that you didn't think about while you were there? Like
Oh
as you
yeah,
saw it?
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Because it's
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot to take in, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing, I think the biggest thing for me was like the adrenaline hit you get. Like it probably hit me harder than anything I actually anticipated, was like just the adrenaline that you feel being there.
Wow, that's
Um,
interesting.
whether you're a fan in the stands, or again, like I said, whether you get the opportunity to sit in a pit box, or whether you're several feet from pit road watching a pit stop in action. I mean, it's an
Right.
adrenaline rush for sure.
Now, I get the adrenaline rush sitting on the pit box watching it, but just think if you were an actual pit crew member going over the wall doing it. Woohoo! It's good
I
times.
mean, I definitely get why pit crews are athletes in their own right,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of the things too, right? I kept pointing out the pit crew members that a lot of them that I know, but what did I keep pointing out to you? What was the one thing I kept pointing out about the pit crew members? Do you recall? How big
No,
they are.
no.
How
Oh
big they
yeah.
are. They're huge.
They're very athletic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're huge human beings. I mean, this is
Yeah.
why I'm not doing it anymore because I'm just a little guy, you know? No, they're so big. They're so athletic. They're so in shape. They're trained for what they do specifically, and,
Yeah.
and it's just they are finely tuned athletes for sure. And you can tell
Yes.
that just by looking at them. I mean,
Yes.
visually, you don't have to really stare at them. You can just tell.
Oh, right. No, but there was one point there I was literally holding my breath, waiting to see if the pit stop if it was going to go clean,
Oh yeah,
and like just when the jack dropped and the truck peeled out, I was like, I mean, it's seconds, right? I
right.
mean, I think people think it's just changing tires, but like I said, it's like this, it's like a dance, and
It's
it's everything is very coordinated and every millisecond counts where you've got to be accurate in what you're doing,
right.
and you have to trust that your other pit crew members are doing what they need to do
Sure.
at the right time.
Everyone has
And
a job.
it's wild. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
controlled chaos on pit road as well, for sure.
Yes.
All right, so that was our experience during the race, and after the race, we kind of walked down and we got to see the winner, who was Corey Heim. Got to see him do his
I
burnout, right?
now I now know what Heim time means.
That's
So
right.
I've
Heim
got that
time.
now. Heim
Yeah, see,
time.
if you didn't learn anything, you know what Heim time means. That's
That's
good.
right.
So we did that, and that was cool. Then we kind of just wanted to get out of the way because it's, like I told you, I said, here's the race after the race. Everybody cleaning up and trying to load the haulers and get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
That's the race after the race, right?
Yep.
So we made our way out of the racetrack, but we did manage to stop by a post-race music concert area, right?
We
And
did.
I
Yeah.
believe you made a new friend there too, didn't you?
I mean, I was trying to make friends with as many people as we could as a group.
Right, right. Of course. Of course.
Um, but I didn't, yeah, I guess I didn't, going back to what I mentioned as far as, the folks that, NASCAR fans that come out to these events, and they really make it a big event for
Oh
the
yeah,
fans.
for sure.
So they've got live music, they've got this concert series going on, they've got, obviously food vendors and merch vendors. I mean, it's really, it's more than just the race.
For sure.
Um, for that goes into these NASCAR events, which I think is really important for these fans. But yes, I made several friends, one in particular.
Oh, it was good times. We had a
It
good
was
time.
good times. It was
Yeah,
really, yeah. It was, like I said, it was a lot of things, even, beyond that racetrack that I was
sure.
not aware of.
That's good. So I guess we did okay giving you your first experience, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the lady in black, did she live up to her name?
I think she did.
Okay.
I was very impressed with the track itself, learning more history about the racetrack. That was, really cool for me.
Sure.
Um, Understanding, you mentioned, as far as like the tires and how they grind down so quickly on that track and what it means.
Right.
And the banking and hitting the wall. Again, it's, every track is different as far as how they built them and how they're set up. So things that, for a newbie NASCAR fan like myself, I'm learning a lot.
Do we have you hooked?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
Okay.
definitely looking at the schedule to see when is the next NASCAR race that I can attend that is
Oh,
relatively
nice.
close to me.
Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely. Yes.
Oh, we did good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud. I'm proud of that.
Looking forward to going back to Darlington because that is a
Okay.
really great and I feel like nostalgic racetrack with again lots of history there.
It may be the one of the oldest tracks on the circuit, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a neat place. It's one of my favorite
it
tracks,
is.
just because it's such a tough track for the drivers,
Yes.
and it can just the lady in black will reach out and bite those drivers and give them a Darlington stripe before they even knew what happened, and that's just the way it is at Darlington.
I
Well,
feel
Bo,
like if they didn't hit the wall, they probably weren't trying hard enough. Is that fair, Joe?
you
Is
should
that
be a
fair
crew
to
chief.
say?
Yeah, you should be a crew chief. Tell your driver that. What do you mean, man? You don't even have a stripe on the car. You're not trying hard enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then next thing you know is all you hear from the spotter is, "Are you okay?"
I
You don't want to hear that.
feel like it's sort of a badge of honor, especially at Darlington,
There you
right?
go. That's right. Well, we could talk all day about Darlington, but Boomer, I am glad you had a good time. The smile on your face was priceless for me, and one of the neatest things that I get to do after a 32-year, career in the NASCAR business
Yeah.
is take newbies, right? And take someone like you
Yeah.
there and get to show you around a little bit and get to introduce you to people. And it was really fun for me. And if you had half as much fun as I did, well, it was a great day.
And again, I do want to thank you because I think going with you, especially and seeing it also through your perspective
Mhm.
and your history with NASCAR, it actually helped me understand it a
Okay.
lot better.
Yeah,
Because I'll admit, again, I went in a skeptic. I didn't watch NASCAR, didn't really
sure,
get the hype.
sure.
But after this race, I get it now. I get, the adrenaline, the teamwork, the culture. I'm hooked for sure.
It's very addicting, honestly. It's very
Yeah.
addicting. Yeah.
And I said, what,
All
you
right.
asked me, would I go again? Absolutely.
All
And next
right.
time I'm bringing those earplugs again, rookie mistake.
There you go. It only takes one time and you'll remember them next time.
That's right.
All right, Boomer. Well, let's wrap this episode up. It was great. I really had a good time.
Absolutely. So, for anyone listening, we would love to, as always, please like and subscribe our YouTube. And we are also on TikTok. And you can find some great clips from our Darlington extravaganza on
There
our
you go.
TikTok page. We're also on Spotify. So please like and subscribe. And please comment on any of our platforms. Let us know if you're a newbie to NASCAR or if you're a lifetime NASCAR fan, if you've ever been to Darlington, if you have any great stories, we'd love to hear about them. So until next time, Joe, I'll see you later.
All right, Boomer. And remember, live every day, people. Bye.
And I didn't come here to talk. I just came here for the whiskey, and I'll be here